It has been a while on this channel. So I want to welcome everybody back to Audiobook Lover. Welcome myself back because I haven't been posting on here and I guess I just didn't want to. I didn't see results and I was like, well, I don't feel like it. That was pretty much it. But I've kind of come to the realization I don't need to see results on here to necessarily post. Like, it's not a necessity. But apart from that aside, today we're talking about my half year wrap up, my 6 month wrap up. So, so far I've read 15 books, I want to say, for this year. I know that's not a lot for a lot of people, but for me that's pretty good. I haven't been back into reading for that long, and I think 15 is really good. So let's just jump right on into this. We'll start with January, and I read 2 books in January. The first was Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I read this because I wanted hockey player love. I was really into hockey at the moment. I was like, okay, yeah, I gotta read my hockey player romance. I ended up giving it a 4.5 stars, which, looking back, is kind of surprising. I mean, it was a cute book, but I don't think it was that good. Looking back, I'd have to reread it, but 4.5 stars on that. And then the other book that I read in January was Pucking Around by Emily Rath. I did not read this for the plot. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I gave it a 3 star. I don't have much to say on it. The spice was good, but I don't remember literally anything from it, really. Okay, now February, I read 3 books. So, let's get into those. The first was The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. I loved this book. It was so cute, and I love The Wizard of Oz, so, actually reading the book was really interesting, and I need to read the rest of the series, but I haven't gotten to it yet. So I ended up giving it a 4.25 stars. I think I could raise that to a 4.5, but that's what I gave it. The next book was Monstrilio by, and I don't know if I'm going to say this name right, so I apologize to the author if I say his name wrong. Monstrilio by Gerardo Samano Cordova. I gave this a 5 star. This was the first 5 star read of the year. This is absolutely one of my all-time favorite books as of now. I absolutely loved it. I have nothing but good things to say about this book. I think I talked about it earlier on the channel, but yeah, it's absolutely amazing, and I would recommend it to anyone who likes horror and gay stuff. So, the third book that I read in February was In the Shadow of Spindrift House. I really like this one. It was a Lovecraftian gay horror, and it was just really interesting. It was a haunted house like thing too, and it was just I really liked it. I gave it a 4.75 star review, which yeah, so that if that tells you anything, it was really good. I absolutely loved it. In March, I read a total of one book, and that was Coffee Boy by Austin Chant. I got this. I downloaded it because I heard Jordaline on her channel. She was reading it, and I was like, well, if she likes it. So, I gave it a 4.75. I thought it was really sweet and just, I really liked it. It was very gay and it had a trans main character, and I thought that was awesome. So, yeah. In April, I read 3 books. The first being Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I thought, like, going into this, I thought I was gonna love it. And then I didn't. Like, I absolutely hated this book, honestly. Like, I don't know if I was expecting more or something, but it did not give what I was looking for. So I ended up giving it a 2.5 star review. But luckily, the next book that I read was a 5-star review, and that was The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I loved this book. I saw so many mixed reviews and everything, talking about it wasn't really vampires, it wasn't really this, and I'm like, well, that's okay, I'll read it anyways, and then I loved it. It was so good. I have nothing bad to say about that book. I think it's great. I don't get what all the mixed reviews are about, but I mean, to each their own. And then the last book I read, which was technically a short story, was Dagon by H.P. Lovecraft. I gave it a 4-star review. I mean, I don't really have much to say on it, but it was good. I enjoyed the writing and I enjoyed everything about it, so it gets a 4 stars. For June, I read a lot. I read, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 books. So that's pretty good. So the first one was No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. Clock's going off. For No One Can Know, I gave it 3.75 stars. I thought it was okay. It wasn't quite what I was hoping for, but it wasn't bad. By the end of it, I was having a good time. Like, the beginning of it was pretty boring, difficult, kind of confusing, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? But by the end of it, I was like, oh, this is so cool. Okay, I'm into it. So, the next one was His Black Tongue by Mitchell Luthi. I hated this book. It was boring. It wasn't well written. I hated the music in the audiobook. 1.5 stars. It was... I did not like it. I'm sorry, but it was not my thing. Um, the next book was A Botanical Daughter by Noah Medlock. This one, I don't know if I'm really into retellings too much, but, this one was really good, especially because it was Frankenstein, and, like, I like Frankenstein stuff, so, I gave it a 4-star review because it was just, oh, I love the writing style and, like, just the characters and everything. It was really good. I really loved it. The last one that I read in June was Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Caw. Hated this one too. Um, it was not well written. It was boring. I did not like it. I've seen nothing but bad reviews for this book, and I was like, oh, it can't be that bad. And so I gave it a shot, and I was like, oh, I see what people are talking about. So I gave that a 1.5 as well. And then, so far in July, well, I technically started these, like, before July. I started them in June, but, I finished them, like, yesterday and the day before. So, in July, but so far I've read 2 books. And that's Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell. I loved this book. Oh my god, I adored it. I didn't quite give it a 5-star, but I think it was just so cute. I loved the horror and I loved the gayness of it, and I just was like, oh my god, I love it. So it's a 4-star for me. And then this one, I was really looking forward to this one, and then I got let down real bad. But it's A River of Golden Bones by A.K. Mulford. I was waiting to read this book for like the longest time. And I was so excited when when it came into the library for me to borrow, like when my wait time ended. And I was so excited, I started reading it. It sucked, man. I was like, oh my god, what is this? And I shouldn't say it sucked, but I mean, like, it was boring and it wasn't, I don't know, I couldn't get into it. And so I ended up giving it a 2-star review, and it let me down so bad, and I hate that. But so that is the list of books I've read so far this year. Did I have, oh, hold on, let me go to my DNFs and see if I didn't finish any this year, because I know I didn't. Yeah, I didn't finish a lot. Oh, I'm gonna pause for a second. Okay, sorry, there was a train going by. I had to pause for a second. But, okay, so let's get into my DNFs for this year. A lot of these I only ended up DNFing because I didn't have enough time to read them. But I would love to go back to some of them and actually finish the book. So for the first one in January was Nosferatu by Joe Hill. I actually enjoyed this book. Like, I didn't get very far into it. I only got about 100, 200 pages in. But it's just such a huge book. I need to, like, actually get the audiobook and read it instead of try to read it, like, physically. But it was really good from what I read of it. I just need to actually finish it. The next one in January, I had 2 in January, was Shipwrecked by Olivia, is it Dade or Dade? I don't know. But, I started reading it and then I was like, this is kind of boring. It's like, I'm into some romances, but I was like, I just really didn't like it. In February, I had three. So the first one was A Flame in the Night by Morgan Dante. I just didn't get into it. It was nothing against the book or anything. I just couldn't get into it, so I quit. The next one was Where You End by Abbott Kaler. Again, I just couldn't get into it, so I quit. And then the last one in February was Edenville by Sam Rebelane. I want to read this whole thing. Edenville was very good, I think. If I'm remembering right, I think I have the right book, but I want to read the whole thing. It had its moments. In March, I had one book that was DNF, and that was Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang. I loved this book actually. Like, I made it about halfway through, and then I had to return it, and I really want to read the whole thing, so I am definitely gonna come back to this. There's no doubt in my mind I'm gonna get this book and try again. Sorry if you guys could hear the train that whole time. I can't help that. Then, okay, so March, April. I didn't have any in April. In May, I had one, and that was Glitter by April Lynn Pike. I was very excited for this book. I picked it up at a little free library and was like, ooh, it's gonna be so good. And then I started reading, and I hated the writing style. It was boring. I just, hated it. So, yeah, I would not recommend that one, honestly. And then the last DNF was in June, and that was The Way West by A.B. Guthrie Jr. I got this on a whim at the library because they were doing their summer reading program, and they had like wrapped up books, like you could unwrap them and like they were a mystery. And I got that one, and I tried so hard to read that, and it didn't work. So, let's check stats real fast. So yeah, I've read 15 books. That was what it is. I've read 3,518 pages, 46.78 hours. Read mostly dark books, mostly medium paced. All fiction. I forgot, I read one book that was like a poetry thing, but I didn't add that in there, but yeah. So anyway, and my average rating is 3.63 on books, so that's cool. But anyway, I think that's it. I have been reading quite a bit, actually, in the past couple of months and everything, and trying to get more books in my read list and everything. I've had a lot of stuff going on, but, you know, that happens. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, if you watch this far. Thank you guys for waiting for me to come back if you did. I hope that you guys are doing well and you guys are reading a lot, and yeah, I'm hoping to be able to get back to content on here. I'm gonna really try. So, yeah. Uh, we'll see you guys around. Bye.